Yes, I had 15 to 17 hours to take per quarter. I had to pass my classes. I had study hall. I was doing community service. I was doing stuff with the bros. I had other things on my plate, but outside of my focus for football, nothing would distract me. Football was very, very, very important. Okay, and I'm wondering and questioning now because every week so far this year, we're 4 or 5 games in the college football season. Every week this fall, we're seeing enormous upsets. It's like, teams that aren't ranked are beating ranked teams. Teams that aren't ranked are beating top 10, top 5 teams. An unranked team that doesn't have much success on the football field, like Vanderbilt, the Commodores, taking down the number 1 team in the country, a school they hadn't beaten 26, 27 opportunities or tries, a team they hadn't beaten 40 plus years. How does that just happen on the heels of this team beating the number 2 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs? It's been a phenomenal season. So what I've decided to do as a handicapper is, of course, I'll watch the games on Saturday. Of course, I'll participate and text back and forth on my text threads. But when it comes to that money, I'm done. I'm not putting no money on these college kids no more because these college kids now making money clearly is a huge distraction. It has been way too competitive with not just necessarily top 5 or top 10 teams losing to unranked teams, but the level of competition that they're seeing every single week. Georgia struggled with Kentucky. Yeah, Notre Dame got beat by NIL, by New Hampshire. Or NIU, I'm sorry. So yeah, it's happening every single weekend. I'm gonna bring a couple people into the doghouse. Good morning, Ollie. How you doing?
Good morning.
How you doing, Trei? You all right, man?
Oh, I'm great, man. How about yourself?
You're absolutely wonderful, man. I wanted to get you, before I get into these text messages and y'all's thoughts about these text messages.
Nobody's text messaging.
I wanted to, the chat. I'm sorry, not the text. The chat. Ollie.
I'm just.
I think it's gonna be better with just me and James. How about that? You're gonna come in here with attitude. How about that? How about you just go back to the green room, Ollie? All right. Thank you, Trei. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, Ollie.
Okay.
You were saying something, Ollie. I'm sorry.
I just hope Doug comes back from his making donuts. Just ruin your whole moment. Go ahead.
Nobody wants him here. Nobody wants him here. Your thoughts from this past weekend in the Alabama laws, Dread, or your thoughts on college football? Just your thoughts on the sports weekend from this past weekend, sir.
Oh, the sports weekend was great. With college football, you got a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds that playing against each other. And with the transfer portal, a lot of these teams they're not that much better than the other teams. So, like you say, Kentucky almost beat Georgia, but they beat Ole Miss. So,
right.
Vanderbilt is still in the SEC. So,
yep.
On any given Saturday.
And all these teams, as you mentioned, because of this transfer portal, all these teams are having 1 or 2 stellar players that may be getting compensated or may not be getting compensated, but these guys have been moving around. These guys are on their second, third school. So there's more players spread out in college football than there's ever been in the history of college football.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about a kid that was on his 3rd or 4th school. That's just insane. I don't think the portal was meant for that. Like going to one other school because this school wasn't working out, I get it. But to every year go to a different school, like you on a 1-year deal.
And it's like the pendulum just swinging too far. Like, you know how we try to correct something? They have overcorrected with the NIL deals and the portal. Like there's no consistency, no continuity. There's no behold, like you just don't care. And I understand these players deserve to be paid. Do not think I'm not saying that. I know college athletes who struggled in school because that's what you get, and you making these schools billions of dollars. But there has to be some guardrails put on here or something because it's going to be ridiculous. Like that's how they're going to school now. So what you gonna pay me? what about your program? What about my education? Like, what about something,
And-
especially in basketball too, with the one and dones? It's probably a little easier to do an NIL deal because you're gonna be there that 1 year and then you're gone. But for football, where you have to stay longer,
Every game I watched over the weekend, and I mentioned this last week on the show. Every game I watched over the weekend, when the announcers are talking about a specific player making a specific play, he said, "Oh, he transferred in from so and so. Oh, he transferred from so and so. Oh, this is his second team. Oh, this is his third." Everybody that they mention, they're mentioning them along with multiple schools, and it's
Oh,
wild.
money. I know.
I
I
like
went.
it.
I saw a Colorado practice once, and they all have their names on the back of their jersey, so you can follow them or they
Right.
can be monetized. And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
But whoa, I mean, I get it. There just has to be some better regulation by the NCAA. And I had a good friend who was working there for a while, and she came in with like, we're going to make sure the HBCUs are straight, because then you got these little tiny schools that don't get the same kind of love, and people aren't trying to, maybe the smaller companies, but you're not getting the millions that some of these kids are getting. And they didn't want to hear what she had to say. Now they realize, maybe we should have had her here, because she did have some sense about the whole thing. Because she didn't have a dog in the fight, and it makes it easier to, battle for something if you don't necessarily have a dog in the fight.
It's new, and I think they'll find a way to regulate it eventually. They're still trying to figure it out right now, but it will get regulated eventually.
Have to.
It's the wild, wild west right now.
It is the wild, wild west.
I don't
Hey,
know
before
how
I
they
get to
gonna-
this, I get to this chat, Dre, you about to say something? Go ahead, Andrea.
No, I'm saying I don't know how they're going to regulate it. I mean, a quarterback needs his money, a wide receiver needs his money, a linebacker needs his money, and if you got
Well,
it, you need to pay it. And if you
they're-
pay it, he'll
they're-
come to your school.
They're going to put a cap on the number,
They're gonna have to.
and they're going to also put a minimum for everyone. So there's some guys on the team that ain't got no NIL deals. He's gonna get a little piece of change too. He's not gonna
Right.
get a lot of change like a
Right.
starting quarterback or starting running back or a starting star on a team, but he's going to get something. And I don't think that that's being done right now.
I don't think that should be done. I mean, when it started out, it was supposed to be about who's producing the revenue. Like if you
Right.
got a star quarterback and he's selling jerseys, but if you're gonna do it the way you saying, then I gotta give everybody on the women's volleyball team a little something.
That's exactly right, because think about it like this. The Utah Utes last year, when these NIL deals started coming up, gave everybody a Dodge Ram.
Oh,
Everybody in the
I remember
roster
you
got a
saying
truck.
that. I
Everybody
remember
got a
that.
truck. So that makes sense to me. Whereas you can't have a quarterback that's getting $2 million a year or $3 million a year, and his offensive line ain't making nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like at the block
eventually
from
that's
him?
going to cause a problem.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I'm
but
not
I'm
blocking.
protecting him.
I'm not blocking.
Yeah.
I know his worth. I know his value.
I
know
agree.
he touches the ball every snap, but I'm protecting him. If I'm not protecting him, he can't get the ball. I got to get something, don't I? That's how they're going to regulate.
That's gonna affect Title IX. That's all I'm saying.
They're gonna have to do
Okay.
something.
These women gonna want to get a little bit of that check too, even if they're not earning revenue. And if you're not
Right.
earning revenue, then I don't understand how we paying you.
Well, they're gonna
That's
have
what
to
I
figure
don't-
something out. It's gonna have to
Yeah.
be figured out, and you can't. I would be like that too. I'm over here, I'm working just as hard, getting my scholarship, and while volleyball might not be the exciting sport on campus, But I was talking, and honestly, I'm talking more in the football realm. Like, you can't have me out here at the same practices, going to the same stuff, and just because my position or I wasn't like heavily recruited, like a Justin Fields, just say. But I'm still recruited, and y'all have me here, and I'm not gonna get anything. Like, are we gonna get a little something? I mean, that just doesn't make sense. And they're gonna have to stop. You can't just keep jumping in and out the portal. You're gonna have to stay somewhere. You got to stay there. You can't just every other week.
But again, the reason why the portal is so convenient for these players is because that's what the coaches were doing. The coaches were jumping in and out of
Right.
jobs.
they're gonna have
Right.
to stop. They're gonna have to.
Well,
Everybody gonna have to get regulated. Just wait a minute.
But they're not going to be able to stop the coaches from jumping. So that's why they're
Right.
not going to be able to stop the players from jumping.
Well,
because
that's
the players
right.
are just
Gotta
doing
be
what the
playing.
coaches have done for 50 plus years now.
You got a mess on your hands.
Loose Neck Side in the chat says, at this point, Doug, Trei, Ollie, Nadi, and JP need to have a Caitlin Clark intervention.
Yeah,
Oh, Loose Neck
Yeah.
Side, keep my wife out of this.
yeah.
John
We
Time
need to
Turkey.
call her. Don't worry, Loose Neck. We'll call her.
Primary Doug, not first dairy. Laugh out loud. Okay, let's see if we can get that to become a word. First diary. First dairy. Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
That was me.
I was about to say, but I'm not gonna do you like you
You
would do
can
me.
say whatever
Don't worry
you
about
want
it.
to say today,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Mister.
Broke the record for turnovers by 45%. Sydney Action Jackson. Yep, y'all hate on Caitlin Clark all y'all want, but I mean, we saw what happened. Okay, so y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but I watch them there every game.
We know.
Okay. Yep.
With lust in your heart, we know.
So for those who want to openly hate and show their distaste for the young little white girl who they are not pleased with because she can ball, shame on y'all. But her numbers are her numbers. Y'all
She had
can
a great
say
season.
what y'all want.
Great. They just because if whatever.
She had a great season.
She had a great season. I think there's a lot of backlash from her fan base. A lot of her fan base are not people who care about basketball. They're just racist people who want to say degrading things to the black players in the league. And to a woman, every woman from every team has come out and say they hate playing in Indiana. They talk about the racism and how they're making basketball not fun. They appreciate the exposure, but they're not appreciating how they're being treated by some of these fans who don't care about the game, but they think they use Caitlin Clark as an excuse to berate those players, and I don't like that part at all.
Well, what can they got to do with that now? She ain't got nothing to do with that.
Of course.
She ain't got nothing to do with that.
I mean,
she started the whole mess with
indirectly she does.
That's how the whole mess started. Now we can be disrespectful, and we all just gonna do it.
Indirectly, she got something to do with the fans that people don't like when they come to Indiana. Stop it, Naughty.
No.
If you don't stop it.
No.
I'm just saying. Go ahead.
I was just saying when she decided her whole little that thing she didn't, and wasn't it Angel Reese's face?
Well, but I mean, she didn't start the Angel Reese beat.
I'm not blaming Caitlin Clark. I'm saying indirectly, meaning the media put all this attention on Caitlin Clark, and the media used her to bring these people into the game. She was just balling. She just doing her thing, but the media kind of set it up a certain kind of way. That's all I'm saying.
Another message from hating ass Arlie. People like Ryan are going to get CC's head pushed off her neck, and that love that they have for her. Or whatever, Arlie.
They're gonna blow her neck.
All award to South Carolina State Bulldogs and the MEAC. Shouts out to you, South Carolina State Bulldogs.
Oh, now you want to shout out to HBCUs.
Loose next side. I love HBCUs. Arlie.
No, you don't.
Don't get it twisted. I'm the only one in my entire family where every uncle, every aunt, every first and damn near second cousin has college degrees. They're all from HBCUs except for mine in undergrad.
We know. That's why we know you don't like them.
Yep. I grew up in HBCUs. Loose next eye. Wait a minute. Let's read the one on the screen right here. Clark had previously used the gesture in a winning game against Louisville. She responded to Reese's gesture by pointing at her ring finger. Thank you very much. Was that you, Dredd, that put that up there?
No,
that means she did it first, honey. That means Caitlin did it first, not Angel.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Trei.
Yep. She's still the rookie of the year, no matter what y'all say. She's
I know,
still
we
keeping
know.
35 up to her team's points.
Yep.
She's great.
Fabulous.
She's phenomenal.
Wonderful.
Loose Next Side says, I know Georgia was looking at the scoreboard watching Bama lose like it was Christmas time early. That's very true.
Very
but
much.
they're still a day late and a dollar short.
I don't know why. They lost to
thing.
Alabama.
Right, they lost to Alabama.
Which means they probably lose to Vanderbilt.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean, I'm saying they don't. They win, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well,
you lost to a team that lost to Vanderbilt.
That's the good thing about this new 12-team process when it comes to the postseason. 12 teams will get an opportunity. So some of these teams can lose one, maybe even two games, depending on how things look. If they win their conference, they're going to get in anyway.
Correct.
So Bama, Ole Miss, and Georgia, all three of them are still a dog in the fight.
Right.
They've all had egregious losses, terrible losses, even though now Georgia's loss to Alabama isn't as bad. Well, it is as bad because they just lost to Vanderbilt. But
right.
They're still all in play, which is why everybody loves this 12-team system. Buster Award goes to Nick Saban for saying Vandy was an easy win for Bama every year. That's true. He was speaking his truth though. FM said, y'all will see. CC minions don't care about the WNBA, do not care, or no basketball. Even don't care about the fever. CC Minions only care about white Jesus. Ooh, white Jesus. Oh.
Now Ryan is really going to be excited about that one. Don't give him material, people, please.
Jesus. Okay, I think I see something there. I like that. Truck D. They walked that goalpost down to the middle of Broadway. Okay, talking about when Vandy won and
we would have been hosed. We would have been hosed down. Hear me?
Yeah, that's not good.
Why didn't just go over that goalpost? Just stick the dog on us, Lord.
Happy my Vikings are 5-0, but I want to see more of a killer instinct from them for late in games, and I'm still not sold on Sam Darnold, who was terrible yesterday. Sam wasn't terrible, RC. He found a way to win that ball game, and that's what you want your quarterback to do. I mean,
but the defense
not gonna always be pretty.
Right.
Minnesota's defense found a way to win the ball game too. I mean, they picked off Aaron Rodgers 3 times, which was huge.
Brian Flores, James, will he get a head coaching job next year?
No, he'll never be a head coach again.
No, they're gonna have.
It's unfortunate, but he didn't play ball when he had the opportunity to play ball. You know, he exposed a lot of the stuff that goes on at the top when he was in Miami. And
so he won't give
that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why black coaches don't oftentimes get these head coaching jobs in the NFL, because you got to know how to play ball. You got to know how to. When the owner says we want to take a loss, we want to take an L, you have to be okay with taking that L.
Yeah,
it's a business first.
Yeah.
These owners don't care about winning; they care about making money, and that's what a lot of fans need to understand. I know you want to act like they want to win every game, but that's not the truth. The truth is they want to make money for the league. You know,
I'm gonna counter to that, because the owners, at the end of the day, if they do want to take losses, it's not because they're losing to win money. It's because they're losing to get draft picks so they can do what? Put themselves in a position to win.
Yeah, but when you already have
I hear what you're saying.
I mean, Miami already had the draft pick. They didn't take the player Brian Flores wanted. You know, that was one of the big things. He wanted Justin Herbert.
Right.
They wanted Tua.
Right.
You know, that was one of the big things. But sometimes it's not your time. I'm not going to get into the politics of football. You know, people can go read the collective bargaining agreement if they want to. They can go and study these ownerships and how the league works. Right. If I tell you, then you'll just say I'm crazy. But I know how this thing works. I've been around for a long time now.
What I will contend is that players and coaches don't want to lose. And for folks that say and think that players and or coaches are trying to find ways to lose, I will vehemently disagree with that.
Correct.
Hands down, all day long.
I would say this: players are not involved in what's going on. That's why in sports you can kill somebody, you can rape somebody, you can abuse somebody and still get a second opportunity. But if you gamble or you point shave, you're done. You're banned from the game, because you're trying to rig on top of the rig. You know what I'm saying? You can't rig the game twice. Right. So just understand that.
Yeah, no. If there's anything I want everybody to understand, is that the players want to win.
The players are not ever involved in what goes.
And the film being filmed, which means that every game is filmed and recorded, every practice is filmed and recorded.
Yeah, but the players follow
aren't
orders.
going to keep making money or making more money if they're doing things that aren't good for the game. If they're doing things that aren't assisting their teams with getting wins, it just won't happen.
That's what I say. But the player also cannot be subordinate. So the player has to follow rules. They have to follow the plays that are getting issued to them from the coach. Right, the coach has to follow the instructions of the presidents and the owners. So it all starts at the top.
Right.
There's a reason why the Falcons was up 28-3 and they just kept throwing the ball. Anybody who knows football knows it's time to run the ball. But when you're getting told to do a certain thing, you do that certain thing.
Well, but Trei, I mean, we could stay here all day.
Right, we could.
Yeah. But
it's simple.
Again, coaches are human, and
they want their jobs.
Sometimes humans don't do what make common sense. And it ain't got nothing to do with sports.
Sometimes
in everyday
they do.
life.
Sometimes
in everyday
they do
life.
I know that Dan Quinn got a head coaching job. I know that Shanahan got a head coaching job. I know the Falcons got to host the Super Bowl. Everybody won. Everybody won except for the fans.
Right.
So, and it's all good because that's business.
Yeah, but for you to insinuate that...
I'm not insinuating. I'm telling you what I understand.
No, but you're insinuating that the Falcons didn't want to win the Super Bowl.
I didn't say the Falcons didn't want to win.
No, but your insinuation, that's what your insinuation is. Because they didn't run the ball, they weren't trying to win. And that's not true. Because coaches get into their game plan and they follow the script.
The script, you're correct. There's a script that you must follow. You're correct. We agree.
Shanahan wasn't saying, I'm not going to run the ball because I don't want to win. He got away from the run because he was doing something else, which he always does.
Right. He was listening to Arthur Blank, tell him what to do.
No. Tony
That's
Dorsett,
how it goes.
Cops gave Vandy an escort to riot, from Tony Dorsett. Tony Braxton is a freak. She broke up the Dallas Mavericks in the 90s. That's from the Dread.
What?
That's true.
Loose Neck Side says, okay, explain that text, Dread.
Yeah, so in the 90s, Tony Braxton was supposedly dating both Jamal Mashburn and Jason Kidd, who were on the same team. They were playing for the Dallas Mavericks at the time. And this is one of the reasons why the team kind of broke up. You know, Jason Kidd ended up leaving Dallas and going to, I believe he went to the Nets.
The Nets, the New Jersey Nets.
Right. But she was dating two players on the same team. That's pretty much caused...
Allegedly.
I mean, it's...
You saw her after dating.
We'll say allegedly, but, I mean, it was reported. So, yeah.
Till Dog 12 said, cut them Vandy, kiss some slack. Only thing they have to look forward to is maintaining those 5.0 GPAs. Plus, there will be Alabama students, employees one day. That's very true. Tommy Williams Jr., yes, the subtle but outright lunatic differences between Darky. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna say that. I'm sorry, Tommy Williams. I don't know who started that one. Sydney Ashton Jackson. Clark was going to get that award whether she deserved it or not, but she deserved it, Sydney Ashton Jackson. So shut up. She deserved it. That ninja, way too much passion over this media-created subject. I guess you're gonna die on this hill. I guess he's probably referring to Caitlin Clark again. No, it's not way too much passion over it. It's called a healthy debate. And it's something that my brother and I debated for the entire year. The minute she got drafted, one of us said she'd be no good, and one of us said she'd be great. So that's why the conversations continued the entire season and into now. Because before the season even started, we had a debate about the success of this one particular person. That's where the debate's coming from. Not quite sure why people don't understand that. That ninja, we already read that one. FM, CeCe had the most turnovers in WNBA history. This is true, FM. Angel had the most consecutive double-doubles in WNBA history. This too is true, FM. Angel deserves her one damn MVP vote. FM, this is true. I stand corrected. He's right. I don't want y'all to think I was spraying salt on Angel Reese for her one vote, because she did have an amazing year. So yes, she did deserve the vote that she got. Her contribution should. FM, you're right. She deserved the vote she got. Toni Braxton has always been thrown off, but she's gorgeous and can sing. That's Loose Nick Sai. Rel Scott Cardi letting people poke her baby in the head.
I don't think it's true.
I hope it's not true.
I just think it's Offset just trying to be off.
They're trying to hurt each other.
Yeah, right.
Public.
Correct.
You just said this. What can I say to top that? Oh,
right.
I say I was smashing her sister.
They'll have another baby next year and get divorced all over again.
Yep.
We were going to the baby birthday party and got hooked up, and now
right.
Mayweather needs to save those hands for the ring. I don't think Mayweather ever fight again till Dog 12. Let's see here. Sydney Ashton Jackson. I think A Different World remake is needed. I just hope they don't let the Rainbow folks take over the show. Oh gosh. Who started that one? What's y'all's thoughts on that? The Different World sequel or the being recreated? Y'all thoughts?
I did a report on it a couple of months back when it first hit, and I think it's gonna be great. Just because those of us who loved that show when we were watching it in syndication or however it was, the Cosby Show as well. People are missing that kind of television. Now I don't know if it'll do just like you all say the Prince of Bel-Air or Bel-Air has done, where it's changed. It went from a comedy to something different. That will be. I'm interested to see the take they have on it. But the daughter. And if she's more like her mama, if she's more Dwayne Wayne, if she's a mix, I'm curious to see who they're going to pick to play the daughter. It's going to have to be somebody with a good little caramel skin tone and some really great acting chops. And who they put the ensemble, because it was an ensemble cast. I'm excited to see what they do with it.
How about you, James?
You don't watch TV.
I mean, yeah, but with the landscape of what TV is right now and definitely how black people are being portrayed in the media, I'm skeptical. But I mean, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the first episode or so and see what it is.
Oh, you made a great point just now. You said that people are missing that type of TV. My question is, if you had to name a show today that is along the lines of A Different World, what would it be?
I'd have to think a minute. Maybe I know I see people excited about shows like Reasonable Doubt on Hulu. It's so many channels now you can't even get to.
That's another thing.
You can't. People always, oh, have you checked this? Oh, have you tried this?
Right.
They mentioned this whole weekend they were talking about shows I hadn't even heard of on, the stations that we all
these platforms, streaming and all this stuff.
It is a lot of stuff. There's a show called The Black Hamptons that people watch. Saints and Sinners was really hot for a minute on Stars. I think it was on. I think it's gone now. Like it shows that we love that they're not bringing back. Like I loved Euphoria and Rap SHIT. It had SH and an apostrophe. It was a Issa Rae show. Loved it. They're not bringing it back. The people just dying out there or just gone. We don't see what happens with them. So right. I don't have one. You got a show that's like that for you?
I do. Well, Young and the Restless. No, I'm sorry. I'm just joking. No, I don't think we've got that type of. First of all, you just mentioned it. There's so much programming right now. Right. I mean, as a matter of fact, Ollie, you're one of the people I consulted with about new shows that I hadn't seen. I have a list in my phone with people talking about these shows I have to see, these must-see shows, and the list is so long, I can't even get to it because there's so many shows. There's so many options right now.
Correct.
Let me tell y'all, have y'all seen the new, so this is how we got wrapped into a show this weekend called, it's a reality show that, what's the Lord? Eli, is it Eli? Which one's the older brother?
Peyton.
I think Peyton is the executive producer for it, called Receivers, and they have one for they have one for receivers, one for running backs. It's like each sit, and they're following these receivers. Mm-hmm. It's
on Netflix, yeah.
It's on Netflix. And I was like, see, that's why we can't get to regular everyday scripted TV, because we watching so many of these people's lives. These people's lives have become like A Different World or our living.
And what are we doing? We're podcasting right now.
Yep.
So what's going to happen after this podcast? It's going to be posted, and people can, people that like our program, or we can watch it whenever they want. So you got podcasts to watch, you got shows to watch, you got sports to watch, you got news to watch. There's just so many options when it comes to your viewing pleasure. It gets difficult.
I would say $1 Million Heist. That's one that I've been watching. Peacock with Kevin Hart and Samuel and Terrence Howard and those guys. Yeah, that's been pretty good.
Yeah,
been pretty good.
I think I'm 2 shows into that one as well. I think it's only 3 shows though, right, Dred, to this point?
No, they're actually. I've watched 7.
You've watched 7 already? Okay.
Right, I watched 7.
Ryan got to catch up.
Yeah, I got to catch up. But again, there's so much programming.
What?
I watched that, and then instead of coming back to the 4th one and watching Young and the Restless and watching sports, I forget I got to go back and finish watching those.
I mean, it's only 24 hours in a day.
Right, it's too much time.
Some of you got to close your eyes. Some of them.
Right.
I hate to read this one because Doug isn't here, but Doug better leave that Detroit Newsy. He's flying out to sea alone. He's not here to defend himself, loose neck, so I'm not going to mention
midget.
But it definitely sounds like this. It definitely sounds like there's some Newsy involved. He spends a lot of time in Detroit.
Maybe it's Sexy Red in Detroit.
I don't think it's Sexy Red.
Oh, okay. Just check.
Brad Jordan in his prime had his own 3-part alter ego series of tracks. I started small time from Earl McDowell Jr. Ron Lee, Doug is a short-term memory of an herb smoker. That's true. He most certainly does. Ryan Reed and Chad Rail.
No, just.
That's right. Hey, Rail.
He's doing a pretty good job though today, Rail.
Yeah, I had a couple problems, but it's okay. I read a. Never mind. Q9Q, Zai Sai. Nope. That's Kai E. Spring 87. Good morning, friends and family. Let go get it this week on purpose. Shouts out to you, Q. Rue 87. Kai E. You know the great Bob Johnson 87? Bob Johnson's 96, I believe.
Some of these people's handles are too long. They need to shorten them. Come on, Slide, for real.
Sylvester Williams, Sly the Sports Guy.
Yeah.
You said it just rolls. Sly the Sports Guy. Like Sly.
Why Chief rock a jersey, Vern? Why you gotta be all that? Why you just can't have
and he's
two
stealing somebody's
names?
name. I think
Crazy.
I got 10 more, we'll be done, man. Sylvester Clark Atlanta gets the Back to Life, Back to Reality Award. Clearly, they must have lost over there at the CAU.
They won.
Julian James, they lost? They're 3-1, you said, Arlie?
No, I didn't say anything. I'm going to look it up.
Okay. Thank you very much. Julian James, where's the poll? We gave you the poll towards the end of the show before Doug left. Trei with the restart. Thank you, Trei. We needed that restart because Doug was being Doug. Julius 35C, injuries will be out for a reason.
Y'all be
5 years. Go ahead, Trei. What were you saying?
The restart was because you kicked my sister out of the group. And someone mentioned, if I might say this, I can't find the chat, but they said that the top fives aren't being held up long enough for them to see what is happening. And I was trying to do that, but we're going to get it together. But if you want me to put it back up before we go out, let me know.
You can feel free to post mine again if you need to.
Get it together, Trei.
Buster Award number 13 for Bama. Went off out there on the field, though. 13 did play extremely well ball. Sydney Jackson Clark's numbers are her numbers, and all them turnovers are part of her numbers, too. Exactly right, Sydney Jackson. But she accumulated for 45% of the team scoring. Every point scored.
A lot of people don't understand. When you handle the ball as much as Caitlin Clark does, you're going to turn the ball over more. That's what I don't ever understand about people in basketball. Do they understand that LeBron James is the all-time leader in turnovers?
Don't let them haters hate, man. They're trying to belittle CC. Brianna Stewart, White is great. Say Brianna, I can't think of her. I can't say her last name. She's great, and I can't stand CC. No problem. You don't have to stand her. She's still accounted for 45% of her team scoring, whether you like her or not. Action Jackson. I mean, so y'all don't like her, what does that mean? She didn't do what she did? Y'all sound ridiculous. Lastly, Tony Dorsett. I'm still watching Reno 9/11, and I heard I need to watch Reno 9/11. Hadn't seen that. I heard that's good. I hadn't seen any of that.
Hilarious.
Shouts out to the great Doug Stewart. Appreciate you, Doug. I'm giving you an A+. Y'all make sure that you go back and vote for the Two Live Stews top 5. Vote for your boy. Doug doesn't even want y'all's votes.
He did. He politicked before he left. He won.
The great Naughty Dread, thank you, man. You're getting an A+. Ollie, outstanding job today. Thank you. Glad you're back safe. Wonderful job, Trei. Good job. Well done. Everybody in the chat room, man, thank y'all so much for y'all's participation and all that you bring to the table. Please pass the word. Please subscribe. And please hit share. Here's my top 5. I don't believe Doug didn't put Vandy beating Bama on the list. He was overthinking it. He had all HBCU victories. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Georgia Southern is not a HBCU.
You're right. He had some FCS schools, not just FBS schools. Okay.
This is when I be in a flower. See how my petals?
God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. If you don't know him and need to find him and show him love, that's all he's showing you. Nothing but love. Hopefully there'll be a pop-up this week. If not, we'll see you Thursday morning, bright and early at 7 o'clock. Y'all be careful in those streets. Peace.